Hello, and welcome back to Tainted Love of a Narcissist. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And what I want to talk about tonight is how to have a good relationship with a narcissist. And I normally talk about narcissists and relationships. So this is how to have a good relationship with a narcissist. A romantic one. You want to call it romantic. The first thing that you need to do is you need to forget about your own intuition. Your own intuition isn't necessary. You need to believe everything that they say. You need to go along with what they say. You need to not question them when they tell you something that doesn't quite add up. You need to not remember any of the abuse that you've suffered over the years. Anytime that they, flirted with another person, or maybe you found out they were cheating on you, or you've seen inappropriate messages on their phone, or inappropriate videos, pictures of exes, pretty much anything that they do to you that hurts you, you need to forget that they did that. Anytime they make a comment towards the opposite sex in some way that makes you jealous, and you want to bring that up, you need to just forget about that. If they, hi Leia, cat butt, always, come on Leia. If, whatever they did in the past, you need to forget about it. Also, you need to, make sure that you're always available for any sort of sexual pleasure. And you need to make sure that you don't cheat on them. They are allowed to cheat on you, and if you find out about it, oh wow, that's too bad, so sad. You need to just continue putting up with it. And if you can't do that, and if you want to interrogate them about what it is they did, and you want to discuss it, however you want to look at it, talk about it at all. You need to understand that they're going to run away from you. They're going to stonewall you. They're going to get pissed off that you want to talk about it. And they're going to, either completely ignore you, blow it off, or they'll say that they're sorry. And that needs to be acceptable. You don't need to have an explanation. You don't need to ask questions, because the more questions that you ask, the more likely you are to figure out that their story they're telling you is bullshit. You need to understand that they play the hero to everyone else, and you're the bad guy. So you need to accept that. You need to accept that you're the bad guy and they're the good guy, and you need to go along with it. And anytime that basically you need to worship them, okay? So anytime that they're out in the yard, or they're out in the garage, or they're in the house somewhere working on something, doing just the best job that anybody ever could do, because they're masters of the universe, you need to make sure that you're standing right there, not in their way, not trying to learn what they're doing, or gathering any kind of information for yourself to be able to do the job as good as they would do. That's not what you're there for. You're there to stand there and admire them and congratulate them on being the master of the universe and being so great at everything they do. And if they make a mistake, you're supposed to ignore that. If, they have a meltdown, or they make a mistake, you're supposed to be there to make sure they feel better. When you have a meltdown or you make a mistake, they're there to shame you and guilt you. Because, how dare you not be able to hold that part up. That is your issue. It's not theirs. Their issues are yours, and yours are yours. And you need to be quiet about it and not, expect them to be there for you. When you have issues with your family, your friends, they are there to observe that, not to encourage you, and not to facilitate positive relationships between those people in your life, important people in your life. They're there to notice those problems, and then when the time is right, they'll drop, little hints or little derogatory whatever's to instill further the problems that you're having with a friend or a family member or whatever. They're not there to make it better. So that's another thing that you need to understand. If they're trying to have a conversation with a family member, a friend, your kids, and you want to come up and have a conversation and be involved in the conversation as well, you need to understand that you're not allowed to do that. You're supposed to stand over to the side and just stand there. If you get involved in their conversation with that person, or they happen to see the kids are talking to each other and you go up and you try to talk to the kids, you don't need to do that. You are getting in the way of the kids talking. You are getting in the way of them talking to the kids or the friend or the family member. You're in the way. And the reason they're bothered by you being involved in that conversation is because they know that you are something that's better than them, and they don't want you to interact with those people and those people to see you in that light, in that way, as anything good. You also have to understand that they don't have any faith in anything that you can do. And you wouldn't notice it at first because they do spend a lot of time. Some of them can spend quite a bit of time encouraging you to do self-care things, self-love things. Like I said before, some of them are spiritual manipulators. So they'll use self-care, self-love, energy practices, spiritual enlightenment type things to try to encourage you. And really what it really boils down to is that goes back to them playing the hero all the time. But what they're also doing is they're encouraging you to go do things that will distract you from what they're doing. If you're busy improving yourself, believe it or not, I know this is weird, but if you're busy out there improving yourself, not only do you look better for them, you may be able to help them more with their shit. If they're encouraging you to go to the gym, you're going to look better for them. And not only that, you're going to be more relaxed and you're going to be easier to deal with. You're going to be easier to control. If you're relaxed and things don't bother you, you are more in a state of being able to control you. I hate to say that. I would like to say that some of them are nice enough and they want to encourage you to be, healthy and spiritually healthy and physically healthy, all those things, but there's a devious reason behind it, unfortunately. And money is another thing. At first they'll be like, oh yeah, you like to spend money and you like to do this and you like to do that. Well, basically whatever you did in the beginning, whatever they liked in the beginning, they're not going to like in the end, which that's normal. That happens in relationships. Things that somebody loved about you in the beginning drives them nuts when you've been together for a long time. That's normal. But, after a while, you'll notice that they're actually using it to manipulate you and bring you down even further. At first they want to go and they want to do all these things. Well, going and doing things costs money. And it almost becomes like, because we want to go and do things, like it's a money problem now. And it almost is like, because I encourage to go and do things, you're spending all this money. So it's like, it's not our fault spending the money and going and doing things together. It's you're encouraging me to go spend money all the time. That's what it turns into. And we have this event to do and money. And it's almost like they inadvertently make you feel bad for the amount of money that's getting spent on the things that you guys both like to do together. And you might be contributing just as equally to the money being spent, as much as you possibly can even. But you need to understand that eventually you're going to be shamed yet again for how much money is being spent. So you will, you're going to be abused pretty much for everything, anything and everything you can. Slowly but surely, it'll start happening. For whatever reason, they have some sort of hang up about something that they do. They will turn it into, it's your hang up now. So you just need to accept it. You just need to accept the abuse, accept the lies, accept the manipulation, accept the infidelity, accept everything. That is how you have an amazing relationship with a narcissist. Forget yourself, forget what you want, and the longer you stay with them, the longer you realize that the quieter you are, the better the relationship goes. The more superficial things you talk about and the more materialistic things you have, that's what they're after. But also that's a catch-22 as well, because even after they've got every toy, every materialistic thing they could ever come up with to get, they're still not happy. And if you have a narcissist that doesn't really like to earn any money or do anything or is lazy, then it'll be your fault for that as well. I mean, some of them are very high functioning and make decent money and like to get the toys and buy the toys, and that's what's important, is having a toy or having an object to show all their friends and get more validation from them. And if you don't play along in that and feel that way, then you better make sure that you do, because like I said, we're trying to make sure we have the best relationship with the narcissist that we possibly can. So shallow, materialistic, quiet, submissive, just stand there and look pretty and adore me at all costs. You'll have a happy, loving relationship. Just, go mute and turn into a robot and you guys will be happy. Sounds wonderful, doesn't it? If only they'd let you know that in the beginning. You might have a say in all that and say, I don't fucking think so. Goodbye. But you'll figure it out after a while, and hopefully you just completely sell your soul, and you guys will live happily ever after. So, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and like and subscribe. And I'm sorry I'm all over the place. You should see the mess. I'll just show you how I had to rig up my daughter's light thing to do this. And my chair is all wonky and everything's weird, but yeah, anyways, it kind of cracks me up how much junk is stacked up here so I could do this video. But okay, hope you have a good night. Like I always say, keep going. Like and subscribe if you like this video. Thank you.